Okay, no, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
This has gone off the rails. This is unbelievable. You cannot spend $2 on food. You just can't. Oh my God. Okay, time out. Let's cut her just a little bit of break. No, I can't. I can't cut her a break. This is too much. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mark from Personal Finance for POCs. This is a channel where I talk about everything finance, and today I'm going to walk you through a new trend on TikTok, which is how much I spend in a given month. And man, have I seen some crazy videos out there. What I'm going to do is click on a couple of videos today, react to them, walk you through the crazy spending that people have, or maybe the not so crazy spending that people have, and share my thoughts. If you're interested in content like this, please hit the like button down below and let's just get right into it. Okay, so I picked a video that is from someone in New York, video titled "What I Spend in a Month Living in New York" from someone called Just Jazzy IDK. Now, if you don't know, I live in New York also, so I think I'm a pretty good judge of what's happening here and whether this is a reasonable amount of money to spend.
Hi, I'm Jazz, and this is what I spend in a month. I spend $2,500 on rent.
Okay, $2,500 a month on rent in New York. That's not too bad. That's a little bit on, I think that's average if you're living in Manhattan or one of the really trendy areas of Brooklyn. I think for that much money, she's probably living by herself in either a studio or a one bedroom. I know that seems like a crazy amount of money to be spending on rent for a studio, but it's New York. I don't know where she lives. Hopefully she'll tell us.
And I spend about $250 or $300 on utilities, so I love it to be warm.
Okay, so that $2,500 doesn't include rent. $250 for utilities isn't the worst thing in the world. That probably includes, in New York, you usually pay like gas and electric, and so that makes sense.
On activities, experiences, and going out and drinks, I spend $642.
Okay, so activities, entertainment, drinks, going out, she spent $600. That's kind of a lot. I know in New York and big cities, especially if you're young in your 20s or maybe even early 30s, I get that you might want to spend a little bit more on activities, but listen, you can just stay at home. There's tons of activities at home. You can watch some videos on Netflix or on YouTube. YouTube is free. If you have the premium account, it's $10 a month. That's activities. Same thing, if you want to get on Netflix or Disney Plus, there's activities to do at home that you do not need to spend $600 out to do. It looked like in the first one she was going to the zoo. I don't know how much you spend at zoos, but there's a lot of zoos near me, and most of them have like a suggested donation of $10 or something. I don't know how you get to $640. That is some expensive entertainment. You can do way better than that.
I went to San Francisco and Arizona, and I bought a trip to Europe, so I spent $1,600 on travel.
Okay, so she went to San Francisco and where? Okay, so she went to San Francisco and to Arizona on $1,600, and then she also bought a flight, it looks like, to Europe. So flights to Europe, depending on where you're going, could be like $500 to $700. So that would leave $1,000 for two trips, one for San Francisco and one for Arizona. It doesn't seem overly unreasonable if that includes the flight and the hotel. But again, I don't know if she booked any of this in advance or she's just paying for everything in the month itself. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable amount to spend. Oh, and actually, I'm looking at the comments of this video now, and it looks like she's got $500 on the San Francisco trip, $800 for Europe, and $300 for Arizona, and she just flies American. Yeah, I get it. Those aren't super expensive trips by any means. It seems like she's traveling reasonably. Everything here in terms of travel, I think is actually pretty reasonable.
If you follow me, I DoorDash like every meal, but that's like basically my job, so this doesn't really count. But I spent $1,263 on food and eating out. Should be a thumbs down, but whatever. I was eating good.
Okay, no.
No, no, no.
No. Okay, we've got to... This has gone off the rails. This is unbelievable. You cannot spend $1,200 on food. You just can't. $1,200 on food for one person. Gosh, she says she door dashes every single meal. So it's not like she's living frugally at home and then just eating out and travel. The reality is $1,200 on food is, oh my God, it's way too much. It's way too much. You could cut that back. But the reality is, a lot of people DoorDash in major cities, especially if they're young because they don't want to cook. But it's pretty easy at least to make lunch and breakfast at home. Those could cost you anywhere between $1 a meal for breakfast all the way down to $5 maybe for lunch. and you eat pretty well on that. And so that means you've just got to figure out dinner, and maybe you DoorDash for dinner, or maybe you just walk down the street and pick something up, or maybe you kick it home, you know? Either way, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's too much. It's too much for food. Do better. Do better. No judgment, but do better.
And then on Ubers, I spent $423 for the month, but there were a lot of airport trips in those Ubers.
Okay, so $460, I forget the exact amount. That's a lot for Ubers per month, but again, you're in New York, you're traveling to the airport. You know, an airport trip one way can be $60, $70. Do that 4 times if you're traveling to San Francisco and Arizona separately, which maybe she's doing, I don't know. That, you know, adds up altogether to $200, $300. That's part of that expense, but then she's also got another $150 on top of that she's spending on Ubers, and that's just too much. I mean, if you live in New York City and you're paying to be in an expensive area, you might as well use the amenities of that area. Use the bus system, use the subway system. There's really no excuse for you to be taking an Uber everywhere. I mean, that's just, it's too much money. Okay, so she doesn't actually say how much she spent overall. I wish she had sort of summed that up for us, but give me a second. Don't worry, I will sum this up for you guys. Okay, so I did the math for you guys, and she spent roughly $6,600 on food for the month of, I think, March, probably, because it's posted in April. That's a lot of money. That adds up to something like $80,000 per year after taxes. So she must be making a pretty good income. I really wish, this is one thing that, you know, the YouTube version of this often people do, but the TikTok version they don't. I don't know how much she makes, but to be spending $80,000 post-tax, you probably have to be making somewhere around $150 pre-tax, and that's if you are, especially in New York, given the expensive sort of taxes in New York, and that's if you aren't saving all that much. So what I would, you know, ideally hope she's making is somewhere between $150 and $250 on the high, on sort of the high end in terms of supporting this lifestyle and still being able to put away some money. There's a lot of people out there that don't put away money and just spend all the money that they come, but I'm really hoping for her sake, you know, she's got 200,000 subscribers. I'm hoping that she makes a decent amount of money between that and her real job or her day job, that she can actually support this lifestyle and she's not, you know, going in debt, God forbid, for this. So guys, that has been what I spend in a month, TikTok edition. So if you enjoyed that, please hit the like button down below and let other people know so they can find this video. If you want to see more content like this, I post about finances, about crypto, and just goofy videos like this. Hit the subscribe button. That'll help you find more videos like this in the future. And if you have any sort of comments or suggestions for this person, add the comments in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think this is crazy, if you think this is a reasonable amount to spend in a month. This isn't the craziest video I've seen, but it's definitely not good. Jazz, if you're watching this, you know, reach out. Let's figure out if we can, you know, do a collab and figure out how we can optimize the spending that you have. I understand that you're doing some of the food for your blog or your TikToks, and so I understand that some of that spending might be tax deductible, but gosh, that is just a lot. So guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.